In the fall, leaves fall down in the fall. The leaves fall down in the fall. Oh, the leaves fall down. And I love to crunch, 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 crunch a whole bunch. I love to crunch, 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 crunch a whole bunch. I love to crunch, crunch, crunch a whole bunch of leaves. In the fall, leaves turn red in the fall. They fall in my head in the fall. Oh, the leaves turn red. And I love to catch, 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 catch a whole batch. I love to catch, 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 catch a whole batch. I love to catch, catch, catch a whole batch of leaves. In the fall, I take out a rake in the fall. Make no mistake, in the fall, I rake up all my leaves. And then I smile, smile, smile as I jump in the pile. Smile, smile, smile as I jump in the pile. Smile, smile as I jump in the big pile of leaves. Take it away. Crunch, 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 crunch a whole bunch. I love to catch, 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 catch a whole batch. I love to smile, smile as I jump in the big pile of leaves.
Surprise! I bet that woke you up, huh? Hi, Mrs. Allen's class. It's me, Miss Danielson, and I'm here for another art lesson. Yay! Even though I snuck in a little song for a little music lesson. That was just such a fun song. I couldn't not dance along. I hope you had fun. I bet you're awake. All right, let's get officially going. This should look familiar to you. Remember, this is repeat after me. So I will say it, and then you will say it. I want you to say it out loud, but if you're going to say it in your head, that's okay. As long as we start to believe it, because I think it's true. I am an artist. I am a creator of ideas and a solver of problems. Sometimes the problems are on my paper. Sometimes they're with my neighbor. Sometimes they're inside of myself. But I know I can solve problems because mistakes are opportunities to learn and grow. And I am proud to be an artist. And I am proud of you for always trying your best and taking risks and knowing that it's okay if we make mistakes because you are becoming an artist. All right, here's what the plan is for today. This is a new project. My friend Amy, she is also an art teacher, and she had this lesson, and she said it was so fun that I should try it too, and I'm trying it with you. So it's called Let's Go on a Leaf Hunt, and there's some good stuff coming. There's a story, and then some directions for a drawing, which you'll end up coloring too. So I'm going to use my whiteboard today for drawing. And I actually probably won't do the coloring part. I'm just going to show you the beginning. And then if I was going to draw it and color it, I would want to switch to a piece of paper. And start with a pencil and then either markers or crayons or whatever your favorite thing to color is, whatever your tool. So let's get started. As you're working today, I want you just to really pay attention to colors, shapes, and lines. So every picture you're looking at, whether it's a photograph like we see here, whether it's the pages of the book that we're going to read, or even your own drawing, really focus in on what colors you see. Like in this photo, I see so many beautiful colors, from the bright, bright pink right in here to this golden yellow to this, I'm going to call it chartreuse green. This one kind of looks more like olive green or army green. I see some gorgeous purples in this picture. Love that. Does anyone see any orange or brown? It's a beautiful picture. Also, you can notice what kinds of shapes you see. So I'm looking at this picture and I'm trying to see if I find any math shapes, triangles or squares or circles. I don't really see any math shapes. I see what's called organic shapes, which means the shapes from nature. Definitely see a leaf shape. And then lines. Now you might think, oh, there's no lines in this picture. But boy, look at the veins on these leaves. In fact, really look closely at this one because we're going to draw leaves today and actually add these V's. Oh, I said V's and I meant vine, or what did I actually mean to say? Veins. Oh, you guys. I was so distracted because I was already thinking in my head, when we draw the veins, I'm going to tell Mrs. Allen's class to draw letter V's. That's what I was thinking in my head, and then I accidentally said V's instead of veins. Sometimes the thoughts overpower the words, right? All right, what's next? Now we have some questions where you can ask yourself as you're watching the book being read. Questions about what you see. Questions about what you think about what you see. And then any wonderings you might have. Like, I wonder how many trees created this pile of leaves. It's very interesting. I'm wondering. It looks like, I bet you 4. I just made that up. I don't really know why. All right, here we go. This is the story we're going to read today. It's called We're Going on a Leaf Hunt. Have you read this book before? If you have, that's okay. You might know all of the answers to these questions. And if you've never heard this book before, like that's what just happened to me, enjoy. It's a fun book. So we'll ask ourselves a few questions. Who is the story about? Where does the story happen? What happens in the story? How does it end? And what did you learn? Have you ever heard who, what, where, when, why, how? This has many of those question words. I see who, where, what, how, and then again another what at the end. Oh, I cannot wait to hear this story. Here we go.
We're Going on a Leaf Hunt by Steve Metzger, illustrated by Miki Sakamoto. We're going on a leaf hunt. We're going on a leaf hunt. We're going right away. Let's find colorful leaves. It's a wonderful day. We're coming to a mountain, a tall, tall mountain. We can't go under it. We have to go over it. We're coming to a mountain. Come on, let's go. Climb, climb, puff, puff. We made it. Pick up those leaves from the maple tree. We're going on a leaf hunt. We're going right away. Let's find colorful leaves. It's a wonderful day. We're coming to a forest, a dark, dark forest. We can't go over it. We have to go through it. We're coming to a forest. Come on, let's go. Step, step, squish, squash. We made it. Pick up those leaves from the birch tree. We're going on a leaf hunt. We're going right away. Let's find colorful leaves. It's a wonderful day. We're coming to a waterfall. A swishing, swishing waterfall. We can't go through it. We have to go around it. We're coming to a waterfall. Come on, let's go. Slip, slide, splish, splash. We made it. Pick up those leaves from the hickory tree. We're going on a leaf hunt. We're going right away. Let's find colorful leaves. It's a wonderful day. We're coming to a lake, a cold, cold lake. We can't go around it. We have to go across it. We're coming to a lake. Come on, let's go. Row, row, flip, flop. We made it. Pick up those leaves from the red oak tree. What's that sound? It's coming from the bush. It's black. It's white. It's black and white. It's a skunk. Let's go. Back across the lake, flip flop. Back past the waterfall, splish splash. Back through the forest, squish squash. Back over the mountains, huff puff. We're home. We went on a leaf hunt. What a wonderful day. We found lots of colorful leaves. Now let's jump and play. The end.
Oh, they found way more than leaves, didn't they? Yikes, the skunk at the end. Ooh, have you ever smelled skunk? So stinky. I told you that would be a fun story. All right, here we have an illustration from the story and a photograph. The photograph is not from the book, so it's a new picture, but I am curious, can you see any ways, let's say two, let's pick two ways that these two pictures are the same? They are the same. I see one thing. Both of the pictures have backgrounds that are kind of blurry colors. Like it looks, I know this one is painted with watercolors. This one looks like it could be painted with watercolors. I know it's not, it's a photograph, but the colors kind of mix together and they're blurry. What else do you see that is the same? Did anyone say, I see children in both pictures? That's the same. Okay, what about ways that we see these are different? Or they are not the same? Ways that they are different. I have one. In the photo, the children are both holding the same group of leaves, but from the book, each child has their own leaves in their hands. So they're not sharing any. That's one way it's different. Did anyone have a number that made it different? Like 2, oopsie, I've got my hands reversed. 2 in one photo, 3 in the other. 2 kids in this picture. 3 kids in this picture. That's one way it's different. All right, let's get to the drawing of today. Oh my goodness, isn't it gorgeous? It's called Let's Draw a Maple Leaf. I actually have maple trees in my backyard. I can see them from here. They're babies, meaning they're kind of small. Still, they're 3 years old. I guess those aren't babies. They're toddlers. Can there be toddler trees? There's 2 different kinds. One of my maple trees has bright red leaves right now, and they've all fallen at the top. So the whole top is empty and bald. And then all the leaves are still kind of hanging on at the bottom of the tree. It looks silly. And then my other maple tree, I'm looking at it right now, it has yellow leaves on it right now, and they're hanging on. They've barely fallen to the ground. So I'm watching it. I wonder when they will fall. Maybe this weekend, or maybe if there's another windy day, maybe they'll fall off. But the leaves are usually green, and so they've turned yellow. Now they're just going to fall. All right. This project, you might need a helper. We'll see. Because when we start, we're going to use a blank piece of paper. And notice how it's turned up and down. It's vertical. So I'm going to use my whiteboard and show you what vertical means. Vertical, up and down, the tall way. If it's turned horizontally, the side way, the wide way, it could still work, but it will be easier if it's up and down. All righty. Vertical. Say that word. Vertical means up and down. Okay, here's where you might need a helper. I don't have anyone here. My cat, she's not going to help me. You're going to trace your hand on your paper. Well, for me, it's on my whiteboard. But the tricky thing is we have to split our fingers. Nope, not that way. So these 3 stay together. It's so hard. And your pinky is going to come out. Can you do that? Can you keep these 3, boom, 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 together? And your pinky spreads? What looks like a dog when I do that? Oh, that was silly. Okay. I don't know if I can hold this up and show you at the same time. But what I'm going to do is trace that, okay? So this means maybe a helper comes along and does the tracing for you. Maybe you can do it yourself. I'm going to do it myself, but I don't think I can do it in the air backwards while I'm looking at you in the camera. So hold on. I'm going to trace it kind of fast around my pinky, down around my thumb. There it goes. Looks like I'm wearing a big fat glove, doesn't it? Can you see it? There it is. Now, at this point, if you can't see it very well, that's okay, because the next steps are going to be some tracing with a darker marker. So if you right now are using pencil, that's perfect. And then it might be a good time if you want to switch to a marker or a crayon. I'm switching to a thicker black marker so that you'll see the next step. Whew. It's okay to pause this if you're still working on your tracing. Remember, it was that pinky, teeny tiny pinky finger separates out. It's hard to do that without the other ones following it. Okay, when you get that finished, we're going to draw a triangle, or they're calling it a mountain, over the top 3. So those 3 fingers, the thicker part, we're going to put a triangle or a mountain over the top of those. Again, if I go too fast, you just pause and then draw and then unpause. Okay, the next step is a mountain or a triangle, if we use our math words, whoopsie, over our pinky finger. That little pinky finger, it works so hard. I bet some of you are already guessing what's left. I knew it. a mountain or a triangle over our thumb. Boy, I just realized how big my thumb looks on this drawing. It really was big. So now I have the 3 mountains that are kind of, it's not looking as much like a hand when I add those mountains. All right, now we're going to extend or add extra lines that come down the mountain and make it almost look like we're drawing houses. So those are just straight lines. They're not connecting yet. Just straight lines. So the mountains almost look like houses. And then what we were doing is adding kind of the jagged parts of the leaves. So if you want to add little mini mountains, which are just like tiny triangles, you can do that. And then connect. So the straight lines just came down and then they connected, they touched. It almost became the letter V, didn't it? Remember how I was predicting I was going to talk about the letter V? I wasn't thinking about this part, but it feels like I'm adding letter V's. There we go. Now we're going to make a giant like U shape that's going to go from this was my pinky finger, all the way under and connect it to my thumb. So what I'm noticing, a giant U, is that I drew some lines down here on my wrist. I don't need those lines. So while you are adding your big U, I'm actually going to use my little rag, piece of cloth, and erase the part where I drew my wrist because I don't need that. In fact, I think I'm going to erase some of the other lines that are inside the house parts. Those were very light, so you may not have seen them. Look at that. We just drew a letter U and it made a leaf. Okay, now is the veins. So the veins are going to start with one big, huge stretched out line that splits this leaf in half. If I was forcing you to do math, we would call that the line of symmetry. Although this leaf is not symmetrical. It's not the same on both sides. Close, but not exactly. And now we're going to go from the tippy tip of that house and bring it down all the way to the bottom. Connect. Oh, look, letter V. I didn't predict that one. But I'm making a prediction right now. Does anyone think that we're going to add one more line from the other house? Yes. I love being right, you guys. There it is. So we've now taken each part that I'm calling a house, the pointy parts, and drawing a line straight down. I just said a leaf. Duh. We know we're drawing a leaf, but we're also drawing lines. Okay, here are the V's I couldn't stop thinking about. It's up to you to decide how many V's you would like on your leaf. They are the veins. That's what carries the nutrients. That's another way of saying leaf food. Carries the nutrients out to the edges of the leaf so that they can grow, stay healthy. Now, you can't see it really well because this toolbar down here is blocking it, but if you can add a stem at the bottom, for me it's like a number 11, but it curved a little bit. Just 2 lines. Oh, it disappeared. Well, they turned theirs into a triangle. Well, that works too. How did that disappear, you guys? Oh, there it comes back. I get it. Okay, so now is the point where you can add your color, gorgeous colors. because I'm using my whiteboard, I don't feel like it's very easy to color on my whiteboard. You know what? I'm actually wishing now I used a piece of paper because this is gorgeous. So, colors of your leaves. Maybe you think of the same colors that I see on my leaves outside. The yellows, the reds, oranges, browns even. Purple, if you remember that picture we saw earlier. Pink. They even had pink in that leaf. So you color your leaf. And then this part you can do if you want to, but you don't have to. They're asking you to cut it out and leave just a little bit of white around the edges. If you want to do this and you need help, ask someone in your family. I think it looks beautiful just like this. I don't think the cutting part is super important, but that's what my friend Amy did. And then she, as the art teacher, she had her kids grab a piece of blue or maybe even green paper, and then she had them put some designs on it. Look at those straight, vertical, and horizontal lines. And she used marker and then glued the leaf onto that paper. I mean, it does look really good. I would agree with her. It looks really good. But I also just like it colored plain. If I go back, I'm going to go backwards a little bit. Back to here. I think that looks beautiful. Hey, that's not the same leaf. On here, she used both orange and red markers. Almost used the marker like it was paint. And then look here. Now she's adding lines with the red marker next to the veins. Well, that looks good too. So here's what I'm noticing. There's no right or wrong way to do this project. It's up to you. You're the artist. Kind of fun. Okay, I hope that you had a good time. We sang a song, we read a story, we compared same and different, and we drew a leaf with our hand. This was a busy day. Way to work hard. I appreciate you, and I hope you're doing well.